Hello all, welcome to the DevOps Planet. So in this Docker course, we are going to learn about Docker from the scratch. So if you are a beginner and new to Docker, and if you want to learn Docker and don't have any background, so you need not to worry. We will cover each and everything in this course. We will learn from the scratch. We will see what is Docker, why we use Docker, what is Docker container, what is Docker images, how to create images, how to launch containers. Each and every parameter of the Docker we are going to cover in this course. So first of all, what is Docker container? So in a single line, if I say the Docker container is kind of OS level virtualization. Now, if I explain you with a single example, so let's suppose if you have one virtual box and in this virtual box, you launch multiple virtual machines. So Docker we can understand as, so the Docker is a tool that is similar to the virtual box and Docker container is similar to the virtual machines. So via Docker container, we can launch multiple virtual machines in our system. So when I'm talking about the virtual machines, it means I'm talking about the Docker containers. So currently I am logged in into my Ubuntu system. And let's suppose I want to launch one Ubuntu container or one CentOS operating system on my Ubuntu machine. So that is doable using the Docker container. So we will see this in more detail during this video. Now, when you want to set up a virtual machine, you need an image for that. So let's suppose you want to install Windows on your operating system, Windows on your laptop, on your PC, you need an image file. Similarly, in the Docker, when we want to launch the container, we need an image that is called Docker base image. So let's suppose if you want to launch the Ubuntu machine, Ubuntu Docker container on your operating system. So for that, you need to download an Ubuntu image. So now the question is from where we can get that base image. So first let us check that whether we have any base image on our system or not. So for that command is sudo docker images. So this command will show us whether we have any image or not. So currently it doesn't uh, give any image here. It just printed the tags. So it means that we don't have any images on our system. So now to download the Docker images, so here on the Google, type Docker Hub. So this is the first link which you need to open. That is the official Docker Hub repository URL. Now here you can search the image. So let's suppose you want to launch the Ubuntu container. So for that you can search here Ubuntu and press enter. Now here you will redirect to a output. So you can see the Ubuntu image here, and as you can see it is written here that it is Docker official image. So just click on this. And now if you scroll down, you can see the tags. So tags are nothing but we can understand like a versioning of the image. So for a single image, we can have multiple versions, and in every image, we can configure the requirements based on our need. So let's suppose you want to launch the Ubuntu version 20. So for that, we have a tag here that is Ubuntu 20.04. Same for the 22 version, we have another tag. So by default, if you don't pass any tag, the always the image which download from the Docker Hub is the latest one. So here you can also see that they have written one command that how we can download this image on your local system so that you can launch a container using this image. So let's try to download this image. So the command is sudo docker full, and then we need to pass the image name. The image name is Ubuntu. So the same name we have to pass here. Now, if I press enter, what will happen? It will download the latest version. By default, it download the latest version. But I don't want to download the latest version. I want to download the 1222.04 tag here. So what I will do, I will pass the tag. So that is how you pass the tag here. Now, if I press enter, it will start downloading of that image from the Docker Hub. So it might take some time. It's completely depend on the size of the image. So now it has started the downloading part. So let it be. So it's about to be done. Okay. So now we have one image. So we can see the output that downloaded newer image for Ubuntu and this version. So if I execute this command again, now we can see one image here. So this is the repository name, or we can say the image name. This is the tag. This is the image ID. And this is the status of the image that it has created 4 weeks ago. And this is the size of the image. Now we have the Ubuntu image. So, like virtual machines VMs, we have the iOS image, and from the iOS image, we launch a virtual machine. Now, in the same way, using this base image, we will try to launch a container. So first check whether any container is running or not. So the command is sudo docker ps. So this is the command that gives the output of the running container. It shows the list of the running container. So if I press enter, currently we cannot see anything, any container detail here. It means there is no container running. Now to launch the container, the command is sudo docker run -dit -name. We can pass the name of the container. So let's suppose the name of the container I am passing here demo1. And here I need to pass the tag on the image, that from which image I want to launch the Docker container. So I want to launch the Docker container from the Ubuntu image. Now, if I don't pass the tag here, so by default, it will try to find the Ubuntu latest image, the latest version image. But we have downloaded the 22.04 version image. So what this command will do, if I execute, it will download the latest version image and it will launch the Docker container. So let me do this, press enter. So it says that unable to find the image because it is trying to get the latest image. And we don't have the latest image on our local system. Currently we have the 22.04. So now what it does, it started downloading the new image. So it download a new Docker image and now it has launched one Docker container. So if you again execute the sudo docker image command, so now you can see it has download another image. Earlier there was only one image which we download using sudo docker pull command. But if we don't want to download using docker pull command, we can directly pass the image and image version in this command and it will download at the runtime. So as we can see, it has downloaded two images. The one image we download from the docker pull command. The second, it's download automatically as per it needed. So now from this sudo docker run command, it has launched one container. So let's see whether we have container or not. So command is again sudo docker ps. So now you can see we have the container detail here. So it has given a container ID. It also shows us that which image it is using, when it was created, what is the status of this Docker container, and what is the name. And also it gives some command that which this is the command which is executing inside the Docker container. Now let's suppose I want to launch another Docker container using the image which we download. So this was the image which we download from the docker pull command. So again, I need to execute sudo docker run command -name. So already the demo1 name is running, so it will not allow us to pass the demo1 name. So let me pass the demo2 name here. And here again, I need to pass the image name. And this time I'm passing the image version, that is 22.04. So now what it will do, this time you will see it directly launch the Docker container because it found that image on my image repository and on the local system. If you see the previous command output, so at that time it tried to find the latest image, but it was unable to find, and it download that image and then it launched the container. But this time it found that image on my local machine because we have already downloaded this image Ubuntu 22.04. So it directly launched the container. So now check whether the container is running or not. So the command is again sudo docker. So we can see that another container is running, and this time it's print the image name and the tag. Last time it only print the image name because by default always the tag is latest. So if the tag is not mentioned somewhere, we can assume it is the latest tag. So that's how we launch the container. Now let's suppose I want to delete these containers and these images which I downloaded. So for this, the command is sudo docker rm, and I can pass the container name or the container ID. So let's suppose I'm passing the container name here. So it gives the error because my container is in the running state. So it says me, please stop the container before attempting the removal or force remove. So now let's see the command to stop the container. Sudo docker stop, and again I'm passing the container name. So now it will stop my demo1 container. Okay, so the container has been stopped. Now, if I execute the sudo docker ps command, which gives us the list of the running containers, so if I press enter, now it will only see one container, that is demo2. So that doesn't mean that demo1 has been deleted. No, this container has been stopped. So if I want to see the list of all the containers, so for this, I need to pass one parameter, that is -a. So this -a will give us the list of all the containers in my system. So if I press enter, so now you can see it shows us the two container, and this container we can see that it has exit 37 seconds ago. Now we can delete the demo1 container because it is in stopped state. So the command is sudo docker rm, and we need to pass the container name, that is demo1. So now the container has been deleted. So now if I execute again this command that list all the containers in my system, now it will only show one container because we have deleted the demo1 container. So now let's do again this exercise for demo2 container. So first we will stop this container using this command. So it will stop the demo2 container, and then we will remove this container. So the container has been stopped. So if I do the docker ps command, it will not give any output because it only show the running container. But if I pass the -a here, then it will show me the demo2 container. So now let's remove this container. So command is docker rm, and let me pass the name demo2. So that container has been deleted. So now if I again execute this command, this time it will not show me any container because I have deleted all the containers. But I have the images on my system. So if I do the sudo docker images, so I can see the two images are still available on my system. So if you want to delete these two images, the command is sudo docker rm. This command was for the container, and if you want to delete the image, you need to pass the rmi. So it will delete the image. And here you can pass the image ID. So I'm passing the image ID. So it's given error because this image is referenced by multiple repositories. So we have to delete it forcefully. So the command is sudo docker rmi, and then we need to pass the image ID. Now one thing which I want to highlight here is you can see the image ID is same for both the images. So what does this mean? It means that both the images are same, but the tag is different. So generally what happens, sometimes we don't pass the tag. So every time the latest tag is available. And if you specifically want to pass any tag, then you can pass the tag. So let's suppose if you want to download the image 20.04. So at that time, you need to pass the tag 20.04 and the image ID will also different. But in future, let's suppose there is new Ubuntu version launch and some 24 version or 23 version comes into the picture. And then at that time, if you will pass, if you do not pass any tag or if you pass the latest tag, so what it will do, it will download the latest tag and that latest tag will refer to that the latest version. So currently the latest version is this one. In future, it will be changed because after some time we can see a new release from the Ubuntu. So at that time, this image ID will difference. So now if I delete this image ID, it will delete both the images because we can see both the images are same. Only difference is the tag is different. So the command is this and we need to pass the hyphen 4 here. So if I press enter, now it will delete both the two images. So it shows that it has untagged both the two images and it has deleted. So if I see that docker images command, you will see that both the images has been deleted. So that's how we can start the container, we can launch the container, we can download the image, delete the container, delete the images. In my next video, we will more deep dive into the containers. We will log in inside the containers, we will set up some servers, we will create our images, we will create our personal images from the base image, we will make some changes over the container, we will understand the networking part and etc. So I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching this.